Hello Al, we've got the transmission out of your '03 Dodge pickup. I'll go over some things with you, and Amanda will give you a call with the cost estimates. So we'll just start at the pump. The gears themselves look okay. It does appear as if the pump's going to be in okay shape. We still have to clean it up and measure it, but right now it looks okay. Our front clutch, this is the one that the band rides on for second gear, and the band itself is worn out, so this paper-like material has been worn down paper thin, really. So the new material that we would use is different band, and that's far more resistant to wear, so we don't really see that problem. But like I said, this is the band that comes on for second gear, and this is where we were seeing that the band adjustment screw is showing the signs of the wear. The band adjusting screw is this guy right on the outside of the transmission. So we're doing a service, we're counting the amount of turns there, because if it's out of adjustment by too much, we know that the band is worn. This is your range sensor, and it may be hard to pick up, but you can see how shiny it is in there. There's been a bunch of transmission fluid that's wicked up through the sensor, so the sensor is full of oil. That's going to have to be replaced as well. The drum itself looks okay. As I said, the band is going to have to be replaced. These front clutches that were in that drum, they're on for third and reverse, and you can see how hot that the clutch has gone. It's been slipping, so you can see these leopard spots, and the clutch itself is black. It should look a lot more like this, where there's no leopard spotting on the disc at all. So we know that this clutch has been slipping. The Torrington bearings, they have a little sign of wear. On a repair we could reuse them, but on a recondition we probably should replace them. Our overdrive sun gear, you can see where my thumb is here. So right where my finger is, there's pitting in there. It's actually quite heavily pitted, so we're going to say that this sun gear needs to be replaced. The fear would be that if this pitting continues, then the tooth could fracture, and then you're going to have a total failure at that point. So that needs to be replaced. This is the snap ring that holds in the overdrive direct clutches, which are these guys, and it's very often that the snap ring's broken, so this piece here was supposed to be attached like that. Just very often it's broken. No failure yet, but obviously we're going to have to replace that with a new one. The low reverse band has some darkening, so you can see where my thumb is. There's kind of black lines there. That's a little bit of slippage, so the band itself should be replaced as well. In our valve body, we have some more wicking coming up through the electrical connector for the solenoids. There are some other valve body modifications that we would normally do to improve the transmission. This governor solenoid, we can see, is got a whole bunch of metal inside of it, and that's quite normal. This is the OEM style solenoid that is prone to failure, so we're going to recommend replacing that and our governor transducer here as well. They're both very prone to failure, so we'd highly recommend replacing them, and as well as doing some valve body modifications that are going to make the unit shift a little bit crisper, not too firm, just a little bit crisper, and the expectation is going to last longer and perform better. The torque converter is going to have somewhere as well. The recondition estimate is going to include the torque converter. It's going to include a heavy-duty torque converter, but we didn't see any reason why the torque converter needs to be replaced on the repair at this point. We don't see any blackening on the outside of it, and there was no 1740 code, which would be the computer indicating that there's a problem. So we have a little bit of roughness on this support, which this drum goes into. So if we look down in here, there's some scratches. Again, on a recondition, that stuff's going to have to be replaced. On a repair, we could reuse that. On the rear planetary, this is the rear planetary. This thrust washer takes a lot of the brunt of the force from the gear train sliding backwards. So there is a aftermarket piece that they've coated this with Teflon, and it's far more resistant to wear, so we would normally replace that with that updated washer. Wasn't a Chrysler update, that's an aftermarket thing. And here's your front planetary, front annulus gear. They look to be in good shape. The overdrive planetary, this sun gear goes into the overdrive planetary. There is a little bit of wear on the teeth from the pitting of the gear, but on the repair we would reuse that planet. Recondition, I think we'd end up replacing the planet. There was a little bit of wobble on the pins, and that's an indication that there's some wear. So as I said, Amanda will contact you with cost estimates, and now you've seen the inside of your transmission.